This is a queer old Scottish tale from Ayr, a town away to the west, but not so far from here. It concerns the history of a certain man called Tam O'Shanter. Tam recounts his chilling memoir of a journey home one night much like this, over 200 years ago, when he was just a newly married young man. Whether it be a true account or not is a matter for you to decide, but what is in no doubt is the eternal lesson it teaches us. How foolish men can fall under the thrall of malt whisky, the guiles of beautiful women, and the dark schemes of the devil himself, which remain alive and well to this very day. So I commend you the tale of Tam O'Shanter. When chapman billies leave the streets, and drouthy neighbours meet, as market days are wearing late, and folk begin to tak the gate, while we sit boozing at the nappy, getting fou and unco happy, we think now on the lang Scots miles, the mosses, waters, slaps and stiles, that lie between us and our hame, where sits our sulky sullen dame, gathering our brews like gathering storm, nursing her wrath to keep it warm. This truth found honest Tam O'Shanter, as he frae Ayr ye nicht did canter. Old Ayr, wham near tune surpasses for honest men and bonny lasses. O Tam, hadst thou but been sae wise as ta'en thy ain wife Kate's advice, she told thee weel thou wast a skellum, a blethering, blustering, drunken blellum, that frae November till October ye market day thou wasna sober. And ilka melder, wi' the miller, thou sat as long as thou had siller, and every naig was cawed a shoe on, the smith and thee got roaring fou on. And at the Lord's house, even on Sunday, thou drank with Kirkton Jean till Monday. She prophesied that late or soon thou would be found deep drooned in Doon, or catched wi' warlocks in the mirk by Alloway's old haunted kirk. Ah, gentle dames, it gars me greet to think who mony counsels sweet, who mony lengthened sage advices the husband fae the wife despises. But to our tale. Ye mark it nicht. Tam had got planted unco recht, fast by an ingle bleezing finely, wi' reemin swats that drank divinely. And at his elbow, suitor Johnny, his ancient, trusty, drouthy crony, Tam loved him like a very brother. They had been fou for weeks together. The night drave on with sangs and clatter, and aye the ale was growing better. The landlady and Tam grew gracious, with secret favours sweet and precious. The suitor told his queerest stories, the landlord's laugh was ready chorus. The storm without might rear and rustle, Tam didna mind the storm a whistle. Care, mad to see a man sae happy, e'en drooned himself amang the nappy. As bees flee hame with lades of treasure, the minutes winged their way wi' pleasure. Kings may be blessed, but Tam was glorious, o'er all the ills of life victorious. But pleasures are like poppies spread, ye seize the flower, its bloom is shed. Or like the snow falls in the river, one moment white, then melts for ever. Or like the borealis race that flit ere you can point their place, or like the rainbow's lovely form, evanishing amidst the storm. Nae man can tether time nor tide, the hour approaches, Tam mun ride. That hour of nicht's black arch the keystane, that dreary hour Tam mounts his beast in, and sic a nicht he taks the road in as ne'er peer sinner was abroad in. The wind blew as 'twould blown its last, the rattling showers rose on the blast, the speedy gleams the darkness swallowed, loud, deep and lang the thunder bellowed. That nicht a child might understand, the deil had business on his hand. Will mounted on his grey mare Meg, a better never lifted leg, Tam skelpit on through dub and mire, despising wind and rain and fire, was hodding fast his good blue bonnet, was crooning o'er some old Scots sonnet, was glowering round with prudent cares, lest bogles catched him unawares. Kirk Alloway was drawing nigh, where ghaists and hoolets nichtly cry. By this time he was crossed the ford, where in the snow the chapman smoored, and past the birks and meikle stane, where drucken Charlie Breck's neck bane, and through the winds and by the cairn, where hunters found a murdered bairn, and near the thorn, aboon the well, when Mungo's mother hanged hersel. Before him doon pours all his floods, the doubling storm roars through the woods, the lichtnings flash frae pole to pole, and near and more near the thunders roll. When glimmering through the groaning trees, Kirk Alloway seemed in a blaze. Through Ilkabore the beams were glancing, and loud resounded mirth and dancing. Inspiring bold John Barleycorn, what dangers thou can make us scorn. With Tippany we'll fear nae evil, with Uskabay we'll face the devil. The swatsy reamed in Tammy's noddle, fair play he cardna deals a boddle. But Maggie stood recht stare astonished, till by the heel and the hand admonished, she ventured forward on the licht, and vow Tam saw an unco sicht. Witches and warlocks in a dance, nae cotillon brent new fae France, but hornpipes, jigs, straths, spaes and reels put life and metal in their heels. A winnock bunker in the east, their sattled neck in shape of beast, a towsy tyke black grim and large, to gie them music was his charge. He screwed the pipes and gart them skirl, till roof and rafters all did dirl. Coffins stood round like open presses, that showed the deed in their last dresses. And by some devilish cantrip sleight, each in its cold hand held a light, by which heroic Tam was able to note upon the haly table murderers' banes and gibbet airns, twa spun lang wi unchristened bairns, a thief new cutted frae the rape, wi' his last gasp his gab did gape, 5 tomahawks with blood red rusted, 5 scimitars wi' murder crusted, a garter that a babe had strangled, a knife a feyther's throat had mangled. From his ain son of life bereft, the grey hairs yet stuck tae the heft. 3 lawyers' tongues turned inside out, with lies seemed like a beggar's clout. 3 priests' hearts rotten black as muck lay stinking vile in every nook, with mair of horrible and awful, which e'en to name would be unlawful. As Tammy glowered, amazed and curious, the mirth and fun grew fast and furious. The piper loud and louder blew, the dancers quick and quicker flew. They reeled, they set, they crossed, they cleek it, till ilka carlin swat and reek it, and cooster duddies tae the work, and link it at it in her sark. Now Tam, oh Tam, had they been queens, all plump and strapping in their teens, their starks instead of creasy flannan been snow-white 1700 linen. These breeks of mine, my only pair, that yints were plush o' good blue hair, I would have gi'en 'em off my hardies for yea blink o' the bonny birdies. But withered beldams, old and droll, rig woody hags would speen a foal, louping and flinging on a crummock, I wonder didna turn thy stomach. But Tam kent what was what fu brawly. There was a winsome wench in Whalley that nicht enlisted in the corps, lang after Kent on Carrick shore, for mony a beast to deed she shot, and perished mony a bonny boat, and shook baith meikle corn and beer, and kept the countryside in fear. Her cutty sark of Paisley Harn, that while a lassie she had worn, in longitude though sorely scanty, it was her best and she was vanty. Ah, little kenned thy reverend granny, that sark she coft for her wee Nanny, with 12 Scots 'twas all her riches, would ever have graced a dance of witches. But here my muse her wingman cour, sic flichts are far beyond her poor, to sing how Nanny lap and flang, a supple judge she was and strang, how Tam stood there like yin bewitched, and thought his very een enriched, even Satan glowered and fidged fu fain, and hotched and blew wi' micht and main, till first ye caper, syne another, Tam tint his reason all thegither, and roars out, "Well done, cutty sark!" And in an instant all was dark. Scarcely had he Maggie rallied, when out the hellish legion sallied, as bees bizz out with angry fyke, when plundering herds assail their bike, as open pussy's mortal povos, when pop she starts before their nose, as eager runs the market crowd, when catch the thief resounds aloud, so Maggie runs, the witches follow, with mony an elder screek and hollow. Ah Tam, thou'll get thy ferrin, in hell they'll roast thee like a herrin, in vain thy Kate awaits thy coming, Kate soon will be a woeful woman. Now do thy speedy utmost, Meg, and win the keystane of the brig. There at them thou thy tail may toss, a running stream they darena cross. But ere the keystone she could make, the fiend a tail she had to shake. For Nanny, far before the rest, hard upon noble Maggie pressed, and flew at Tam with furious ettle. But little was she Maggie's mettle. Yea, spring brought off her master hale, but left behind her ain grey tail. The carlin clucked her by the rump, and left puir Maggie scarce a stump. Now wha this tale of truth shall read, ilk man and mother's son tak heed, whene'er to drink you're inclined, or cutty sarks run in your mind. Think you may buy the joys ower dear. Remember Tam O'Shanter's smear.